Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. This is my last day of this fast. I wasn't really going to do anything, but I kept getting comments over in the Discord chat to go live and talk about what I learned. So, if you guys haven't been paying any attention, I've been on a 10-day water fast. This is day 11. So, I kind of did a half day before I started, and I kind of pushed a half day this, so I almost have 11 days. I'm maybe 6-7 hours short, but so I tried to push it on both ends to get an extra day out of it. What if you guys don't know, I was doing a water fast. So some people juice fast, some people do fasting with intermittent fasting or low calorie fasting, where I talked about that a little bit in the video, that the previous videos, you can get a lot of progress just doing 500 calories and then kind of just eating like fruits and vegetables, like a low calorie fast a day. Say if you can't handle a real fast, you can do eat it all within maybe the afternoon and then just stop eating the rest of the day. You try to get anywhere from 12 to 18 hours. 18 hours is usually the best break. Around 18 hours, you start healing cells. The actual cells will go into eugophony, where they're throwing out their damaged organelles. And that is ideal if you can get to that. I did a full-blown water fast, so that means no tea, no coffee, no water with lemon, just water. Because what happens is if you start adding things, your body treats it as it has to digest something, and it starts kicking over and to digestion mode. When it does that, it kicks out of healing mode. So you can't have both going on at the same time. You're either digesting food or you're healing. And really, you're only really healing when you sleep. So if you're like, oh, well, I'm going to drink tea or I'm going to have coffee, I don't really like water, it doesn't work as well. You just got to buck up and do water. Some of the things I learned, the first 2 days are usually the hardest because of hunger. We're so used to eating, and if you are on a standard American diet, you're probably addicted to at least sort of addicted to sugar and bad foods. So it is like coming off a drug. You get withdrawal symptoms, you get cranky, you don't feel good, you get headaches. You're getting off sugar, which is basically a drug. And your body gets really ticked off at you the first 2 days. Like it's not fun. But once you get past day 2, day 3, all of a sudden it changes and your hunger starts going away. Now, I coasted through day 3 to 8. In fact, you probably saw me and I felt fine, man. I was out working in the garden. I was taking walks. I wasn't doing anything like had I had a job, I could probably just go to work. It wasn't anything that different as far as that goes. Day 8 to 11, things got tough again. I went through some sort of cycle where I guess my liver was dumping some toxic junk out, or maybe my fat cells, your fat cells hold a lot of toxic crap in them. And when you burn them, they release into the system. So your liver has to process them through. And one of the things that happened was I had a swelling of my tonsils. Like on one side, my lymph swelled up. I got terrible heartburn. I got nonstop hiccups and gas coming out. I got cramps. That part was not so fun. But what is weird, and I can't seem to find any information about this anywhere, is I have had nonstop burping for like 3 days at night, and the burping's so hard that it actually is creating like a reflux, and it burns your esophagus. That part sucks. And what I think is going on is either yeast is dying and it's fermenting, because, you know, yeast ferments. Um, at least I hope it's dying, because most likely if you're addicted to sugar, you have bad yeast problems in your blood. So I know I have yeast. I'm hoping it's dying off. Or maybe I got H. pylori or something going on in my stomach, that there's some bacteria in there that's producing gas. I'm not sure. That's just a guess. But I cannot find, nobody seems to know the answer to this, but it is a common problem. When I looked on the net, it was like, yeah, I burp it during my fast. So my best guess is something's fermenting, which would be yeast. That has been really uncomfortable and keeping me up at night, and that part sucked. So day 8 to 11 here has been uncomfortable. And what happens is your body lets you kind of know when you're done with your fast. So in the beginning, you'll be uncomfortable because you're getting off sugar and hunger pains. But then you coast for a while and you're okay. You're burning fat and you feel pretty good. And what happens is your body will start throwing out toxic junk in every orifice. So your breath stinks, you stink, you go to the bathroom a lot, you pee a lot, your pee stinks. And some people have their skin erupts, so they get rashes and acne, and you know, your body, your biggest excretion organ's your skin, so it's going to blow out. And so that's not fun either. So a lot of times when people fast, they will break out with zits all over. I got a few zits, but not bad. I actually now, though, holy cow, my skin feels like it's smooth, like Billy D. Williams smooth. I mean, it is smooth. It feels awesome. My pores are good. So I think I'm through that phase. And your tongue turns white as the mucus and yeast dies. Your tongue's still a little white, but it's not nearly as white as it was. It's getting better and better. So as that happens, you will get better as far as those things seem to get better. And that's how you know when the fast is over. Your body stops stinking, your tongue clears up, skin clears up, and your appetite will all of a sudden return. And around day 8, I started thinking about food nonstop. I mean, I've like planned out what I'm going to eat today all day, and I went shopping, like got my meal, I'm ready. I'm so excited. So once you start thinking about food again, your body's like, okay, you did a good job. We're good. Go ahead and start eating again, and we'll do another one later. You know, it's hit what it wants to do. So you got to listen to your body when to break your fast. The other thing that was a really interesting side effect is I have a terrible sense of smell. I'm somebody that, you know, like when I was dissecting bodies in chiropractic, I was like the only guy in the morgue that didn't get affected by the smell. Like I can't smell anything. And when I went on this fast, I got like a super sense of smell. It cleared up in day 3 or 4, where I went out and I could smell every plant. I could smell when I was at the grocery store the other day. Like, it's gotten ridiculous. I can smell what people are eating. So I'm like, that dude just had a burger. This person smells like a pizza. This person smells like chicken nuggets. Like, you can smell what they've ate. It's almost offensive to a point where I feel like a pregnant woman, you know, where they have like a super heightened smell. That was a really interesting side effect. I just assumed I just couldn't smell, but apparently what I'm eating is blocking my own sense of smell. Okay, so that was an interesting side effect. As far as, I'm going to not try to get too graphic, but as far as going to the bathroom, you go for the first few days and then it stops. And every few days you might have like a watery bowel movement, and it's just kind of like a brown sludge that comes out. And your intestines are trying to clean out. But even at day 11, I'm still pooping like a little water sludge. And it's amazing how long, you know, it's been 11 days without food and there's still stuff in my intestines. So it just shows you how long food sticks in there, man. Like how much impacted food. It probably takes like a month of fasting to get it all out, to get your intestine clean. So that's crazy to think. you know, the intestine is that bad. But I did say at 11:11 I'm going to break my fast, and what I'm going to break it with is I went out this morning, and these strawberries were in my patch. So we picked these strawberries. So they're fresh strawberries from the garden. When you come off a fast, you want to pick a watery fruit. A lot of people use watermelon, but I could not resist your own strawberries because, you know, if you guys have gardens, you know what I'm talking about. The strawberries taste 10 times better than anything you buy at the store. So that is what I'm going to break. I picked 11:11 just because I knew it would be an easy time to remember, because when I started, it was kind of like 11:11. And of course, it's 11:11, so that's cool. But let's pick the best one. So I'm going to get a really ripe one. Now, my stomach shrank a lot, so we will see what happens. I'll probably have like 3 berries, and that'll be it. What's amazing is they smell incredible with my heightened sense of smell right now. They're ridiculously good. But it is 11:11, so oh my God. Oh my God, it's like candy. It's so sweet. Holy crap. That was like the sweetest strawberry I've ever had. That's amazing. So yeah, if you want to break usually watery fruit, some people do smoothies, something easy to digest. I'm going to take one bite and just sit for a minute because my body's like, what the hell's going on? Some people really do not do well coming back onto it. They will try to drink or eat and they'll just puke it up. Now, you got to remember that my stomach's probably shrank to the size of a lemon at this point. So it's not going to hold much. But I do have pretty hardcore hunger cravings. Oh my God, it's so good. I can't believe how good the strawberry is. Man, and you know, garden strawberries are awesome anyway, but this is like ridiculous. So you got to go slow. It's kind of like if you've ever heard people starving in the desert, where they get to an oasis and they drink water and then they throw it all up and it makes them sick, and they're always like, take it slow. It's the same thing. You got to go real slow on what you eat. Now, I'm a pretty experienced faster, so I know by the afternoon I'll be able to eat something. So I got some food planned out. I'll probably start in the afternoon with like a salad, and it'll be a very small fruit salad, something like that, that's easy to digest. I will stick with the natural foods, and then maybe tonight I might cook some beans to see if I can handle it. Something that's easy. Now, this is pretty neat. So my girlfriend actually supported me and got me a balloon. Look, she said, and you know it's like a cool dog because he has sunglasses. So there you go. It says, I'm awesome. Oh, sorry, you are amazing. So that was really nice. She brought me that home yesterday. I was pretty excited to get a balloon. I don't think I can remember the last time I got a balloon. So she supported me. That was really sweet of her. The other thing is she also got me these, which are awesome. So I don't know if you guys can see them, but they are cat buttons. So they're little buttons that you can sew on. Let's see if I can get up out of the reflection there. They're little buttons you can sew on to your shirt. So I'm gonna probably take my house coat and sew on cat buttons. That was my reward. So that's awesome. Yay, cat buttons. How cool would that be, right? Like, and I don't care that I'm a grown man and wear cat buttons. Screw you. I can do what I want. So it's so much funny. How much weight did I lose? I lost close to 25 pounds. I think I was at 24 pounds. So that's about a little over 2 pounds a day. Now I lost about 12 of it in the first 2 or 3 days, and then it just kind of coasted about 2 pounds a day after that. So I will say I'm happy with the weight loss, but usually what happens when you come off fasting is the first salty thing you will touch, you will gain 5 pounds. So people come off fasting and they'll be like, holy crap, I gained, 10 pounds in 2 days. It's salt. So as soon as I eat something that is cooked with some salt, it will hold weight. And this is also why people fast and they lose like crazy weight in 3 days, is most of it is water weight with salt. And thanks, Jess. She says my face looks slimmer. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, look at my skin's like awesome, man. It's really good now. So I'm pretty excited about that. The damn, where was I going with this? I forgot what we were talking about. So there you go. Hopefully my brain will kick back on here. It's still a little hazy. You do get some clarity. Oh, I was talking about the weight loss. So yeah, the weight loss, what'll happen is you might lose 25, but you'll gain somewhere of like 5 to 10 back. That's just water weight. And as soon as I fast again, it'll come right off. It is because I'm eating salt. And when you stop eating salt, you drop a lot of weight. So especially if you're a heavier person, people be like, holy crap, you can't lose 10 pounds in a day. Yeah, you can. If you're, 250 pounds, you can lose 10 pounds. That's like, just a few percentage of your body weight. So it's, I imagine I will gain some weight back as soon as I start eating. But what I'm probably going to do is I've got a system ready to go from Apex. This is kind of what I use on clients. Is I really like Apex, and this is a glutamate powder, and it is designed to help leaky gut. This stuff's the best, but unfortunately, it's really hard to get unless you're a doctor. You have to be a doctor, and then I will do some. I'll do some GI Synergy, which is a way to reset your microbiome. It'll kill the yeast and the bacteria in you, and then replace it with healthy stuff. This stuff, if you got bacterial problems, is really good. So I'm assuming I do. I know I have yeast problems, so that'll have to go. And then some Clairvite. And Clairvite is probably the best product I've ever found for liver support. It is fabulous. So I will do some liver. And what you do is in stages. You do like an inflammation. You work on the inflammation first. Then you get the gut health right as far as you get the bacteria right. And then once you get the bacteria right, you switch over to liver cleansing. If you go in those stages, you'll have a lot more success. If you try to do everything at once, it's a disaster. So you got to do that. Wow, that's crazy. I've had like half a strawberry and I'm full. All right, well, I'm gonna try another bite. Oh my God, that is such a good strawberry. Holy cow. I cannot believe everything tastes so flavorful now. Man. So I could see that, if you used a lot of spices and stuff and you get really used to it, that I imagine the first thing I eat salty or sugary will be too offensive and I won't be able to eat it. Like I'll be like, holy cow, that is so salty. I could barely eat this. Where before I loaded salt on everything. So I imagine that that's what's going to happen. And if you've ever had anything sweet, you'll be like, it'll be unbelievably sweet. I mean, this is just a strawberry and it tastes like candy to me. I could see why the fruitarians dig it, because they live on this stuff and swear that, it's just like anything else. You desensitize to spices and salts. So when you get rid of them, all you need is a little bit. I don't know how many of you guys have ever done that, where you got off sugar and then had something with sugar and you're like, I can't even eat this. It's so damn sweet. It takes a few days, but yeah, Steph, I love garlic salt. I do too. Well, I'm still going to use it, but I'm probably going to use less because I won't need as much to get the same high. I hate to say high, but that's kind of what it is. Yeah, the salt and the fats and all that stuff. I imagine just everything will be less. That's ridiculous. I'm full after one strawberry. I haven't even finished a strawberry. I'm full. But I picked these out of the garden today, and garden strawberries are amazing. Man, I love having a garden. That's the best. When you grow berries, you guys should all be growing at least berries. They're so easy. I'm growing some zucchini, so I try to pick the easy stuff. Like zucchini and berries usually are pretty successful, and I've got some cherry bushes, which is really weird because I've never seen cherry bushes. I've only seen cherry trees, but these things are bushes. So I don't know if it's just some sort of weird New Hampshire thing. I've never seen a cherry bush. Oh, if any of you guys know, maybe you Canadians have them up there or something. It's awesome because you don't have to climb high to get cherries, but they're tiny cherries too. They're small, but man, they're flavorful. It's kind of like those tiny little strawberries that are so flavorful. Oh man, they're amazing. Do you guys have any questions? I kind of covered the side effects and all the not so fun stuff about fasting. The benefits, though, will be that my leaky gut should have healed a good deal. So now when I do something like the glutamate powder, it will everything I eat will be absorbed much better. And the vitamins I'm about to start, because these things are expensive, they will work much better. So that was my goal, was to get to the point where if my gut cleaned itself up enough, whatever I do now will start working. It got really frustrating as hell because no matter what I tried, I had insane hunger. Like I just wanted to eat all day long. And nothing would take weight off. It's like, I could kill myself out there walking or running or something, and I wouldn't lose any weight. Exercise wasn't working. My hormones were jacked. But by fasting, it hits the reset button. So things should start working now. I'll let you know. This is going to be a process that'll probably take about 6 months, but I plan to get my body back in good shape, and I will probably do intermittent fasting. Different ways to do intermittent fasting, like I talked about. There's ways where if you can't handle being without food, you can do a low-calorie fast where you just do 500 calories of fruits and vegetables, sometime maybe in the afternoon, and then just stop. So you give your body at least 12 to 16 hours to 18 hours to heal. You do that every other day. So you eat what you want one day and then do a small calorie day the next, and eat what you want the next. I'll probably take it up a notch, and I will probably do fasting every other day for a while. This week I'll eat what I want, but once I get going, I'll probably fast every other day until I start getting more of the results I want and I start feeling better. And then probably in 2 or 3 months, I'll do this again. So I'll go at least 10 days. Is a baked potato healthy? Yes. There's a lot of fight on this array because sweet potatoes are like one of the most perfect foods out there as far as if you eat sweet potatoes, beans and rice, you pretty much have every nutrient you ever need. You could live on that because sweet potatoes have enough of the B12 that's hard to get for vegetarians. So sweet potatoes are like amazing. The thing about that is if you have a lot of yeast problems or you have a lot of weight problems, potatoes are not going to help you lose weight. Even though there are people out there that will swear up and down that they can eat like the starch solution people lose weight. And the way they do that is they kind of control their calories and they stay the hell away from any fat at all. You can lose weight like that. So if you want to make that sacrifice, you can definitely lose weight and just eat on potatoes, and you can do it. But you have to choose one or the other. It's going to be either starch or fat. You can't have them both. So it depends on, if you're the kind of person that loads their baked potato, that might not be a good idea if you want to lose weight. Now, if you're already thin and healthy, don't worry about it because you can eat potatoes all day long and they're fabulous. But I always try to push sweet potatoes over regular potatoes because they're just full of way more nutrients. And or yams, I guess you guys call them yams too, depending where you're from. There's a starch solution out there that I know plenty of people that have lost weight just eating starch, which goes against everything you learn. It's like you can't eat a diet full of carbs and lose weight. Yeah, they can. What they do is they avoid oils, and your body still reacts well to it. So what I learned is you just can't do both. You either got to choose: am I going to have a diet with no oils, or am I going to have a diet with carbs? And yeah, there you go. Any other questions? I have heard anger characteristics create intestinal problems. It is definitely true, Omar. Emotional Okay, if you're really upset, and you will see people who grieve, they go through a breakup, or somebody dies, or they're angry about something, their cortisol and the adrenaline levels go through the roof, which completely affect digestion. And I have a lot of personal experience in this, where my intestines shut down because I was so stressed out, and I almost died from it. It was really scary. So absolutely, I used to think it was kind of bull poop, but until it happened to me, and now I absolutely believe that you can emotionally kill yourself. You'll hear about this where like one spouse dies and the other person just can't cope and they're dead like a month later. You know, yeah. So there you go. What about replacing garlic salt with powder? Yeah, I mean that's a good choice. Salt's really not that healthy for us. I mean, a little bit, but you know, salt's in like all the food you eat. Every vegetable pretty much has a little salt in it. You can get most of the salt you need from the vegetables, but salt's really addicting and it's good, and but it's not so healthy. So yeah, if you can just go to garlic powder, that's a better choice. Hi Danielle. Any other questions? Burma says, when I came off the truck and me and my boyfriend broke up, I lost 25 pounds. Yeah, from depression eating, or did you just not eat, Burma? Because sometimes high levels of hormones will kill your appetite too. It's really interesting how that works, because in men, we eat and get fat, where women break up and they lose weight. It's very odd. I don't know. I guess it's the hormone difference, because most men will gain weight, and that's surprising to me. So I don't know what that's about. I'll have to research that. I'm taking a class this weekend on endocrine, um, functional endocrinology, which is very heavy into obviously endocrinology, but we'll be talking about a lot of lady hormones, and I imagine I'll try to find that answer out. I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, she says she wasn't eating and running around like crazy. Yeah, well, your shift focuses. Is pretty interesting. Vanilla says, I couldn't eat and I was super stressed. Couldn't swallow anything. It was scary. So I mean, like Vanilla, would you just throw up stuff if you tried eating it, or you just didn't have an appetite? Tracy says, Doc, my GP says that a water fast will do more damage than good because of lots of medications. Bought a filter now. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I think you're saying that, yeah, there's a lot of physicians don't understand water fasting. They think it's very damaging. And if you're on a lot of medications, or if you're very toxic, when you go through this, it can be dangerous. Like you can really hurt yourself and do some damage. So if you're on medications and stuff, find a physician who supports fasting. They're out there. You just got to find them, and they'll coach you through how to deal with your specific medication issue. Sometimes you have to do like a low calorie fast instead, where you're still eating to get the meds to work. But you know, my goal is that you get good enough that you don't need any damn meds. You know, that's the goal in life, is to get off that stuff. I'm not happy with any medication, but it's not my place to take you off. So you want to work with a physician who hopefully understands that. And yes, it can. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Water fasting is hardcore. So you can get sick. It can mess you up. And what happens is a lot of people with zero experience do it and then screw themselves up and are like, oh, it almost killed me. And, you know, they're on a bunch of meds and whatever. So do it supervised if you're going to do it. If you have a lot of extenuating circumstances. I don't take any medication. I haven't even taken an aspirin probably in 25 years. So, you know, I'm not worried about it. The other thing is, you know, a lot of people misunderstand this because they think the first 2 or 3 days where all that toxic crap's coming out of you and people get horrible migraines and sick, they think that the purge is damaging you. And it's not. It's usually getting everything out first. You just have to get through that hump, as far as that says. So I I would ask your doctor, how many water fasts have you done? I guarantee he's probably going to say none. He's going to be like, that damages you. Well, how many of you actually done in real life? None, but I'm the expert at it. Okay, right. You know, it's it amazes me how everybody's an expert at something they've never ever even done. So yeah, there we go. Let's see other questions. But lots of people saying hi to Burma. Hi, Burma. Oh, let's see. Omar says thought and perception are linked to creating enzymes and activate hormones. So the mind has a lot to do with the body's ability to resist and cope. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you know what's funny is, you know, you've heard this forever about getting sun and a positive attitude. And all that stuff really does affect your dopamine and serotonin levels and your cortisol levels. So it's not a joke. Like, it will chemically change you to go out and walk in the sun and have a good positive attitude. And it really does work. It's not a bunch of fluff. That's a good word, right? Fluff. Any other questions? Are we good? Because I've got 6 strawberries left. I ate 1 straw. I didn't even finish this one. I'm still. That's the thing about strawberries. Do you guys pull the stems and eat all the rest, or do you just work around it like I am? And then it's like gnaw the edges. Oh my God, that's a good strawberry. Anyway, I should have. And then I got 1 mutant strawberry, and I always feel bad about these. I don't know what to do with the mutants. I'll eat it anyway, but I always feel a little bad for it. Let's see. Who's all going to Pork Fest? Yeah, that's a good question. Pork Fest is 2 weeks away. Get your tickets already. See you there. Geez, Array says she lays in the sun about 45 minutes a day and meditates. That's a great habit. I wish I would think to do that. I usually just go hike. I like walking. Any other questions? Because I want to end this and eat my strawberries. No more fasting questions? And I'll wait a minute or two for the chat to catch up. So far, no problems. I'm not throwing up and I'm not nauseous. But that took me about 30 minutes to eat 1 strawberry, so I should be okay. All right, I'm going to go eat my berries. I love you guys. Thanks. I hope this answers some questions in case you're interested in doing it yourself. Like I said, it's not hard to do 1 or 2 days. It's just uncomfortable. And if you get past the 2 days, it gets a lot easier. If you're just diving into it for the first time, just do intermittent fasting. Do like a day or a low-calorie day. You know, take a day, eat what you want. The next day, don't. You know, eat what you want. Next day, don't. You can break it up like that and still get pretty good results. So, and if you're on a lot of meds or you get a lot of serious health problems, find a doctor to supervise you. Don't be stupid and like, I saw a doc do it on here, so I'm going to do a 10-day fast, and you know, and you're on a bunch of meds. You're going to find out it's a lot harder. But honestly, you guys should be finding doctors who get you off your meds and find out why the hell you're on your meds in the first place, because you shouldn't be on meds. You know, try to get your body to a point where you don't need that stuff. So it'd be nice to work with a doctor that'll take you off that stuff. Okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna split. Okay, stay positive. Be nice to each other. Be nice to your cats, right? Look at these cat buttons. I know y'all are jealous. I'm gonna totally. If I could figure out how to sew, I would so do this right now. But I need to figure out how to sew a button. I'll have to watch a YouTube video. There's nothing I can't find out on YouTube. All right, love you guys. Be nice to your cat.